Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen AHMADIYYAH'S show. I'm your host, Queen AHMADIYYAH'S, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen AHMADIYYAH'S. You can follow the Queen AHMADIYYAH'S fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, hello, Emperor Rex, Cherie, Jeff ATL, TJ, Aeon is in the house, True Justice. All right, Leo, Lion, Pink Love, Jessica, Queen Candy J, Nicole, Trisha, Vince I Am from the UK, Black Women Stand Up, Obsidian Blaze is in the house. All right, let's get ready to get into it. Desmond, Melanated Brown, Cherie. Okay, shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, I am Bass Pearly, Courtney Queen Shay, Nita's and Mike's World. Okay, people, let's get into it because we have a lot to discuss. Hey, Silent D. Silent D said, listening while working, honey. Don't get in any trouble on my behalf. All right? Okay, so let's get it started. So the first thing is there is an elderly Black woman who actually died in a heated car. Okay, she was sitting out in the car and it was so hot. And she ended up dying out there. She was like 70-something years old. So let's talk about that. I'm going to share my screen. Hey, GA Fit Health, Geraldine Tara, Dragon Lily, James. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share.
Are you working, son?
Dad! Did you even get in here? Huh.
Now to a special report from the 8 News Now Live team. A husband enters a local hospital for a medical procedure. So why did his wife die just outside? Vanessa Murphy has been looking into this tragic death and how changes have been made so this never happens again.
Gee Whiz was the song that she sang. And that was also one of the things that attracted me to her voice.
David Litt recalls a classmate named Lear singing at a talent show back in the early 60s.
So I called her and we started dating from then.
They became high school sweethearts.
Once you meet her, you wouldn't forget her.
Marriage and his enlistment in the military followed.
Been a tour in Vietnam.
And today, as a veteran, David receives medical care at the VA. In August of 2020, he went in for a transfusion. He says Lear didn't drive much due to health issues, but she wanted to go with her husband. So she dropped him off, parked the car, and tried to head inside, but she was turned away.
They allowed her to come in to tell me that she couldn't come in. And that's when I gave her my phone. Said, okay, I'll call you, find out how you're doing.
There was a no visitor policy at the emergency department at the time due to the pandemic.
I think that could have been handled a lot differently.
Lear was 75 years old. The temperature on record for that day, as high as 110. Still, Lear went to wait in the car in the parking lot. That was around 9:30. Around noon, a doctor on their way in saw her in the car, which wasn't running, with the windows rolled down. She said she didn't have much gas, so she couldn't let the car run. But to David, that doesn't sound quite right.
One thing I made a habit of never getting below half a tank of gas.
Then around 2:30, after David tried calling Lear and there was no answer, he asked hospital staff to check on her. Shortly after, he heard an announcement.
Rapid response in the parking lot.
Lear was found unresponsive in the car. Her body temperature, 109.
Doing compressions. And I'm across the hall from where this is taking place, but I knew it was her. Without even seeing, I knew it was her.
Lear was pronounced dead inside the hospital. Her cause of death, hyperthermia.
The unfortunate reality was we had spent so much time on risk assessing, protect veterans, protect staff. And after that incident occurred, we had to take a step back and say, well, there's a secondary risk, too, because of the weather out here.
William Karen is the head of VA Southern Nevada Healthcare System.
A policy is a policy, but with the heat and This was an elderly woman with a limp, with her own health issues. She wasn't a veteran. But do you think a mistake was made at the people who interacted with her at the door?
Yeah, I think we could go back in time, hindsight, and review every single detail. But to say that someone was malicious or reckless, I wouldn't say that in the least. The goal was the greater good of protecting all veterans.
Multiple departments at the VA investigated the incident. The I-Team's request for the results of the investigations were denied. While we've appealed, we also asked Karen about this.
But any of those results of the investigation, typically that's not something that we would share outright.
Were you aware that there was further investigation?
No. It's the first time that I'm hearing this.
Karen says policy was changed the day Lear died to allow one visitor to accompany a patient and to increase patrols in the parking lot.
Were you aware that they changed policy after that?
No. It'll help someone else if the same situation arises, but it's not helping me at all.
David says for now, he's trying to get used to life without his wife of 57 years by his side.
I know it's going to take time.
Vanessa Murphy, Live, Local, Now.
That is so very sad. It was so very sad. And at the end of the day, they're talking about an investigation. Okay, well, if they did an investigation, how come he didn't know about it? Another thing is, if I were him, I would be suing them. Do you all think they would have put an elderly white woman out there and made her sit out in that hot-ass car? Do y'all think so? Because I don't. Okay, I'm not trying to make everything about race, but at the end of the day, honey, I doubt very seriously they would have put an elderly woman outside like that on 108 degrees, policy or not, okay? Because sometimes you can bend policy for things that are called common sense, all right? No one should have to sit outside. And she's going to be out there for hours, honey. I want you to know, because when you get those, he had to get an infusion. Did they say infusion or transfusion? Either way, honey, she was going to be out there for hours because an infusion usually takes about 3 hours, okay? A transfusion, that usually takes about at least 2. I'm just saying, 2 to 3. So that's all crazy, honey. They made that woman sit outside like that. That's just all so sad. Also sad, honey, but here's another one. A baby was left out in the car. Now listen to this. The stupid father, I don't know why he even took the baby with him, but this father went to visit his probation officer, took the baby with him, left the baby in the car about two buildings down from where his probation officer building was or whatever, and went in there, got arrested because they determined that he had in fact violated probation. So as they arrested him, this fool didn't even bother to tell him that the child was outside. Didn't say a word. They said he never mentioned it. Okay, and they have him on video footage. You know, they don't show it, but they say they have footage that clearly shows he never said anything about the child being outside. And likely he didn't, because otherwise the child wouldn't be dead. And so I think the reason that he didn't say anything about that baby being outside in that car is because he could have gotten another charge, because you don't leave an infant unattended out there in a car. And not to mention where he parked the car, like I said, was at least 2 buildings away from where his probation office was, right? And this happened, yes, this happened in Snellville, Georgia. All right, so I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone please like and share. Yes, now he got a worse charge. Now he's going to face murder, okay? Well, not murder, but negligent homicide or something like that, honey, surely.
Watley Trejo. Snellville police say she died after being left in a hot car for close to 7 hours. The GBI is now investigating, and that child's father is behind bars. He's in jail tonight, charged with second-degree murder. 11 Alive, John Sherrick has all you need to know. He's live in Snellville tonight. John.
This is where police say the father left his baby daughter inside his car in the middle of Tuesday afternoon, not far from the Snellville police station. He ended up getting arrested for something else, and police say he never told them he'd left his daughter in the car outside. The baby, 8-month-old Nova Watley Trejo, in the care Tuesday of her father, 20-year-old David Watley. Police say Watley left Nova in his car, parked near the Snellville police station, so he could conduct some business in the station. But while inside, police realized Watley was wanted for a probation violation, and they arrested him. And Detective Jeff Manley says that Watley never told them to go outside and get his daughter.
He made no statements as to the fact that his daughter was left in the car 2 buildings away from the Snellville Police Department.
7 hours later, Nova's grandmother found her in the car and took her to a hospital, but it was too late. Nova's mother, Selena Grace, in her grief, unable to speak, sending us photos of Nova with a note. She had the biggest personality a baby could have. I loved her more than I could ever imagine, and my heart is breaking that she is gone so soon. Watley is now charged with second-degree murder.
I'm absolutely astounded that somebody would leave an 8-month-old in the car. He was on video the entire time. He never made a statement that child was in the car.
And GBI agents will be going over every second of that police videotape of Watley's arrest as they prepare their report for the DA.
Good morning, everyone. Darren Scherbaum, Assistant Chief of the Atlanta Police Department, DARINSCHIERBAUM. Thank you all for being here this morning. It's important for us that we update the citizens of our city on the condition of their police officer and allowing us to make sure that we bring this factual information to them. This morning, about 5:56, our officers from the Zone 5 precinct responded to a possible burglary at a business at 969 Marietta Street. While they were there conducting the investigation, there was a gunfire. One shot was fired, striking our officer. That officer is here at Grady Hospital. We want to commend a couple of actions that took place to ensure his safety. The officers on scene immediately started rendering life-saving care to the officer, applied a tourniquet. He was quickly transported here and is in the competent care of Grady Hospital, and we want to thank them for that and their actions this morning. We do have one person detained. An individual has been detained and brought to our public safety headquarters where he's being questioned by investigators. At this time, we do believe he may be a security guard that was affiliated with the business where the officers were responding to. And so that investigation continues. We know you're going to have a lot of questions about that, and as soon as we have more information, we'll make sure that we bring that to your attention.
So as you can see, the nefariousness continues in Georgia. That was about a shooting, an officer-involved shooting. Okay, so my thing is this. Now, he left the baby in the car. And like I said, I believe he didn't say anything once he realized he was getting arrested because he felt like there would be another charge if he let them know that baby was outside in that car. But at the end of the day, that would have been a minor charge, surely. As opposed to what he has now, second-degree murder, idiot, and the baby's dead. And then here's the thing. The grandmother went 7 hours later and got the baby. That's because when he got to the jail, when they let him make his one phone call, he likely called her and told her to go get the baby. How stupid can you be? Like, that just makes no sense. Shoshana said, the one I seen in Atlanta is very conspicuous because they have two conflicting stories. First, they said he stopped him, in which he was arrested. And I'm sure the cops seen that baby. Well, here's the thing. They said the grandmother said that it was a traffic stop. I think listen, I don't believe that story about the traffic stop. I think that's what he told the grandmother. Because if you think about it, why would he want to tell her that he was stupid enough to leave that baby in that car for 7 hours? He made that up, honey. I don't believe that. He probably just told her, oh, they came and arrested me, and the baby was in the car. That's probably how he tried to make it look. I bet you that's how he tried to make it look. I don't believe that one, honey. Yeah, there was two stories told. I forgot about that. The grandmother said that she was told by him that it was a traffic stop. He got arrested, and that's how the baby ended up in the car. Let me tell you something. The police wouldn't have left that baby in the car. I know they might do some low-down stuff, honey, but they would not have left that baby in the car while they arrested him. If anything, they'd have taken the baby like they normally do and called somebody to come and get the baby, somebody else in the family or whatever. He was at his probation office. That's why he's in jail. Okay, because if it was a traffic stop, why is he in jail? Why is he in jail? You know what I'm saying? There had to be a reason for him to be arrested at the traffic stop. The charges that he has are probation violation. And I don't know why he took the baby with him to the probation office anyway. And even if he did take the baby, his stupid behind self should have taken the baby inside with him. Why would you leave the baby outside? How dumb is that? He could have just taken that baby in there with him. That's all he could have done. And that way, once he realized he was getting arrested, the cops would have just let him call someone to come get the baby. Instead, he thought it was a smart idea, just leave the baby in the car, park 2 buildings from where he was. Somebody could even kidnap the baby or anything. So that was just all so stupid. Why didn't he take the baby in with him, says Trisha? Exactly. Exactly. Then he goes sit there and lie to the grandmother talking about he was at a traffic stop. Yeah, because he didn't want the grandmother to know. And it was likely his girlfriend's mother. Or maybe it was his, I don't know. But either way, he didn't want them to know he left that baby out there on purpose. Okay? That's what he wants. He'd rather put it on the cops than take responsibility himself. He absolutely did that. He sure did with his stupid self. Now he's going to pay the price. And that woman has lost her child thanks to him, honey. It's all so crazy. So crazy. Now listen to this. Because a Texas woman gunned down an intruder that broke into her house while her kids were asleep. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. Now, a Texas mother of 3 shot and killed a man who broke into her home while her children were asleep. But police say she won't face any charges. The woman was at her home with her kids on Cashmere Place in San Antonio at about 10 p.m. Thursday when she heard the man trying to enter the main door, trying to come inside the laundry room. She opened fire and struck him. Now, identified as 41-year-old Roman Rodriguez, she shot him twice in the chest. It is unclear if the intruder was armed. When the police arrived, they found the bloodied Rodriguez sitting in a chair in the backyard. He died on the way to the hospital. No one else was physically hurt in the incident. The probe continues, but the unidentified homeowner is not facing charges because of the so-called castle doctrine, which allows a person to use force against an intruder who breaks into their home, according to News 4 San Antonio. Well, honey, crime doesn't pay. Stop trying to break in people's homes, please. Because one thing about it, if somebody's in the house and they have children, they're likely going to shoot first and ask questions later. Because what you doing in here, fool? Okay? I don't have no problem with it. Should have thought better of it, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, let me share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Alvin said exactly. I doubt she was charged with anything. Terry Hint said that criminal got what he deserved. Belinda said, I'm at work also sneaking and listening, LOL. Oh, y'all are a mess. Lloyd, that's what you call loyal royals right there, honey. They're even listening while they're at work. Shout out to all those at work sneaking and getting on their phones to listen to the Queen, honey. Honey, I wouldn't even have wasted y'all's time with that video. I thought they were going to show the culprit, honey, who was sitting there shot, sitting in the chair. Meek said, I listen while working with my headphones. Okay, beloved. Vince I am said, I'm listening, sneaking in for the Queen. Been doing it for years. Okay, Ben. Oh, y'all are so funny. Okay, so let's go on to the next story. And so now I thought this was interesting. They say more than 200 sailors leave the USS George Washington after multiple deaths aboard the ship. Now, it's numerous people on this ship who have committed suicide. Any sailors who opt to relocate will be moved to an off-site barracks type living arrangement on Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia. So they say the U.S. Navy is allowing hundreds of sailors to leave the USS George Washington this week following a string of deaths aboard the docked aircraft carrier. Now, when I first heard this, honey, I thought maybe they got sick with stupid 19 or something, honey, or some venom. But no, it says in April, 3 sailors assigned to the ship were found dead, okay, in less than a week. Can you imagine that, honey? You're on a ship with 200 of you all, and 3 of them found dead in less than a week. Now, they go on to say that 2 of them confirmed to have died by suicide. 4 other deaths, for a total of 7, have occurred aboard the ship within the last year. So they say starting this week, the Navy is allowing sailors living aboard the USS George Washington to leave the ship. More than 200 sailors are said to have moved from the ship as of Monday. Honey, they are getting up out of there. Now, they say the plan will continue until all sailors who wish to move off ship have done so, according to the Naval Air Force Atlantic, which did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. Now, any sailors who opt to relocate will be moved to an off-site barracks type arrangement. They say the facility at the Virginia shipyard will initially hold 260 sailors, but will be expanded in the upcoming weeks. They say we'll be able to expand that number at about 50 additional beds per week as we figure out exactly what is needed. According to ABC News, the USS George Washington, which is nuclear powered, has been undergoing a lengthy refueling and overhaul process in Virginia since 2017. Now, the father of Xavier Sandar, one of the crew members who died, told NBC News that his son experienced hardship living aboard the ship. Once he finished his 12-hour shifts, Xavier told his father that he would sleep in his car with a thick blanket instead of remaining on the courier. His father says he always said that it sucked, and I always say to ask for help. That's what his father says. And he said, Dad, they don't give a F. They don't care. That was always his response to me. So Naval Air Force Atlantic Commander, Naval Air Force Commander Rear Admiral John Meyer recently expressed his sorrow following the deaths of the sailors. He said the tragic events that have transpired involving sailors assigned to the USS George Washington is a sad reminder of the heartbreaking sorrow that followed the loss of a friend, family member, or shipmate. Now, while the Navy is a resilient force, he says we are not immune from the same challenges that affect the nation that we serve. Of the 2,700 crew members belonging to the USS George Washington, only about 400 lived aboard the ship as of the last week. Now, I want to ask you all something. Why do you all think these men are killing themselves or killed themselves? Does anyone have any naval experience? I'm thinking maybe claustrophobia or something. I have no clue. I don't know. Cabin fever? Anyone got any ideas or suggestions? Because this is all crazy, honey. Alvin says sea life must be rough. Donna says, I was in the Navy Reserve and spent 2 weeks in a ship. It was rough. It was rough, tough life. 12 to 16-hour days working, sleeping in a coffin. That's what I think it is. You said sleeping in a coffin. That's the first thing that came to mind for me was maybe it was, claustrophobia. Some people can't take it because I feel like the same way when I see people that have to live aboard a submarine for months, all that time in an enclosed space and then underwater. Honey, you couldn't pay me $1 million to do it. I promise you. You couldn't offer me $1 billion, matter of fact. So being a submarine underwater, that's what you couldn't do. I already know that's not going to work out good for my end. Tommy says, Tommy Sotomayor, the architect, 2.0 leap, okay? Says, I I was in the Navy. I was just 5. Hold on. Am I reading? No, I'm reading 2 different comments. Okay. Tommy says, hold on. I was in the Navy for 12 years on a carrier. Okay. Ramsey says, I did 4 years in the Navy. I was just 5. Rain Love said they sound weak. Obsidian Blaze said my husband was GAS. I don't know what that means. Okay, Cherie said her daughter has PTSD from being out on ship. Honey, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you like this. I would absolutely not be able to do. Surrounded by all that water, honey, let me tell you something. I have a fear of large bodies of water, for one. And for 2, what you're not going to do is put me in nobody's submarine, honey, and sink it underneath the water. That's what you're not going to do. So I can only imagine that a ship would be equally as frustrating for me. Maybe not as bad because it's not under the water. GL said a ship is not a sub. At least you can go outside. Well, that's true. But if you have to stay on there, now, she did say that it was like sleeping in a coffin. Eric said, Queen, they are weak. I was stationed on board for 5 years. Elizabeth says, I don't believe suicide when it pertains to us without evidence. I don't know if it was us or not. I don't know what race these people were. There were several of them, so it likely could be a mixture. I don't know. Valeria says, that's my biggest fear of dying, drowning. Mine too, honey. Otis said, Queen, $1 billion, but you can black people, I don't know, you can help black people with that money. Honey, I don't care who I can help that money, Otis. All right. What you're not going to do is get the Queen to get in no darn submarine, honey. All right. They can tell me they're going to give me $10 billion, $100 billion. I'm not doing it under no circumstances, honey. No stretch of my imagination nor yours, Otis. All right. Now, if they ask me to do it, I'll tell them to come get you. Sitting here trying to boost me up, talking about, Queen, you can help black people with that money. Honey, I can't help black people if I'm dead. That's what I can't do. All right. Please. Otis clearly trying to get me killed. I don't know why y'all are laughing because I am so serious. Rain Love said hard work causes suicide. Y'all sitting up here laughing, honey. It's not a game, honey. I am so serious, honey. I love y'all, black people. I love y'all. I surely do. And I'll do many things for you. But what I'm not going to do is get in nobody's submarine, honey. That's what we're not going to do, all right? Y'all can't make that make sense as far as I'm concerned. And so now listen to this. A Marine that was kicked out of the Corps after sharing wannabe supremacist flyers is now running for local office. Are we surprised? Please. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of them running for office and in office, in fact, even in the Oval Office, no less. And so a Marine was kicked out of the Marine Corps after sharing white supremacist materials, and he's now running for local office in Kentucky. Oh, in Kentucky, I'm definitely not shocked. Y'all knew I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, honey. It is wrought with racism. I even told y'all that the KKK, and I promise you this is not a lie. When I was a kid, I literally saw the KKK marching downtown, broad daylight, in the Pegasus Parade, and nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. The black people weren't complaining. They were just looking like shocked, you know what I'm saying? But nobody said a word. Nobody protested. Nobody said nothing, honey. Marching in the Pegasus, I'm talking about the whole Klan. Can you imagine? Now, that's bold racism right there, honey. It's bold racism in Kentucky. So this clearly doesn't surprise me at all. Now, they say Thomas Cade Martin is a candidate for District 4 Constable in Bullitt County. They say it's a somewhat obscure position that predates modern police forces. And so in the 21st century, they can serve court papers, kill and bury livestock. And in Kentucky, they can make arrests and write citations without undergoing the same training as the peace officers. Now, Martin was serving as an anti-tank missile gunner with the 1st Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment at Camp Pendleton, California, when he received field-grade non-judicial punishment and was busted down from Lance Corporal to Private First Class. He was separated from the Marine Corps on September the 11th of 2020, although officials declined to specify the type of discharge he received. They say Martin's premature discharge and rank are indicative of the fact that the character of his service was incongruent with Marine Corps expectations and standards. That's what Yvonne Carluck, a Marine spokeswoman, said at the time. I said, due to associated administrative processes, further details are not releasable. TJ said, what? With white sheets and everything, Queen? That's correct. Yes! That's how I knew they were the Klan, honey. Even as a little girl, honey, I was about 9 years old. They had on the full-on Klan robes and hoods. Marching, honey, proud supremacists, honey. And nobody said nothing. Like I told you, I remember this very clearly, honey. Okay? That's what I'm saying, honey. Racism is in full throttle in Louisville, Kentucky. In Kentucky, period. And many of the black folk there are clearly, well, I can't say that word, honey. That's why my other channel's in trouble now. I just got the Queen AHMADIYYAH'S TV show. That channel just got off of ban today because I said raccoon without the ra in front of it. Pay attention, honey. They got the Queen for hate speech. We're talking about Negroes who throw the rest of us under the bus. But anyway, they'll get you any way they can, honey. So they go on to say that Martin's premature discharge, okay, went over that part. It says in April the 28th, in an April the 28th Facebook post, Martin claimed that he was a victim of cancel culture. He said he was discharged under honorable conditions and I retained my earned benefits. Martin did not respond to a request for comment from Task and Purpose. Now, according to Andrew Dyer, a reporter from the San Diego Union Tribune, Martin repeatedly posted what was described as white supremacist messaging over a 2-year period. That included a flyer with a white supremacist slogan, not stolen, conquered. Let me tell you something, honey, not stolen, conquered. Do you know that's the narrative these devils paint when they came here and stole this land? Okay? Somebody said, but the N-word. Right, exactly. They could say the N-word on here, honey, yes. Afros and Afro Sheen said, but the N-word is okay, though. Exactly, right? They got on me for saying that, honey. Yes. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. I didn't know that was their slogan, but I have heard a racist person say that before. So he posted these wanton supremacy flyers that said, not stolen, conquered. That's what the devils tell themselves about this land that they stole when they committed genocide on the natives. They say, oh, we didn't steal the land. We conquered it. No, you didn't, honey. You know how I know you didn't? Because first of all, honey, when you conquer a territory, you go to war with those who live there. You go to war, you battle them. And if you defeat them, that's considered that you conquered. They didn't come here and go to war with the natives, the indigenous people of here. They came here and the people were kind and welcomed them with open arms and fed them and taught them how to plant and grow their crops. And then you gave them smallpox-covered blankets and killed them. The words to conquer it in that. Please miss me with it, honey. You see how they lie and try to change and rewrite history to suit their own nefarious agenda and narrative? Please. So anyway, and they made it into a whole slogan. Wow, the nefariousness of them all. So anyway, goes on to say that he said he was a victim of cancel culture because, you know, after they got rid of him for his nefariousness, right, and racist. And so as for Martin, he's unsurprisingly trading on his service, omitting or downplaying its disgraceful end while wooing conservatives with hilarious tactical videos and illegally using at USMC emblem and the seal. So he's not supposed to be using that because he was discharged from the Navy, but they say he's still using it. Hold on, let me see if this is, hold on. This is him right here. Hold on, let me share my screen because he's got some posts on Twitter. Clearly nothing to see there, folks. I thought that was a video of him. But anyway, so he's running for office. And like I said, honey, nothing surprises me coming out of Kentucky. It absolutely doesn't. And the people you have in charge there with positions of authority, like Daniel Cameron, I can't even call him what I really would normally call him, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that allowed the police to get away with cold-blooded murder in the case of Breonna Taylor. Yeah, he certainly serves their wanton supremacist agenda and throws his own people under the bus because he's married to Becky. Pay attention. And so anyway, they say the Facebook page for Martin's campaign, which is Cade for Constable, that's what it's called, makes frequent references to his Marine Corps service. It includes pictures of him in uniform, as well as references to counterterrorism training that he received while he was in the Marines. There's also videos of him firing weapons and wearing tactical equipment. Now, they say the Marines recently appeared along with Corley. Marine recently appeared along with Corley and others at the American Family Association of Kentucky Candidate Forum in April. Corley is currently a candidate for the Kentucky State Senate, honey. For the Kentucky State Senate. He's not the only one. Like I said, there's numerous of them already out here in political positions of power, honey. And that's why we just can't get anywhere. That's why they have no agendas for us. All right? That's just facts. That is just facts. Duzilla said when it all comes down, they'll be looking for our protection. It's definitely coming. They in the woods training as we speak. Training right now as we speak. Okay. So, do you all remember the girl who was a social media influencer who killed her Black boyfriend, stabbed him to death? Y'all remember that? I did a story on it. This is an update on that. Hold on just a second. I'm going to share this news footage. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Okay, here we go.
Police responded to a domestic disturbance call at a luxury Miami condominium. What they found was jaw-dropping.
Miami PD says they were called to this Edgewater condo to investigate a domestic violence call when they found Aboom Selly suffering from a knife wound.
Shocking video obtained by TMZ shows a woman, 25-year-old Courtney Clenny, covered in blood and handcuffed. Police say she stabbed her boyfriend, 27-year-old Christian Mbumzeli, in the shoulder amid a struggle.
Obumseli was rushed to the hospital, but was pronounced dead. Courtney Clenny's attorney says just about a week before all this happened, she removed her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, from the lease because of other domestic violence issues. But apparently, he continued coming back.
These allegations Clenny has against Aboom Selly, her lawyer says led to his death.
As the investigation continues, the questions are piling up. But Clenny's attorney, Frank Prado, says people are pointing fingers without knowing all of the facts. He says despite the national attention this case is gaining, his client is innocent.
It was clearly a toxic relationship and had their ups and downs, and unfortunately it culminated with his death.
We have no cause to believe that this was a case of self-defense. Toby was raised by a very strong family with strong morals, strong values.
Aboom Selly's family says that he was a soft-spoken man and said the idea that this was warranted is unthinkable.
Let me tell you all something. Now, you see how they paint that narrative. I want you to pay attention because they sat there and said that she'd removed him from the lease because of numerous domestic disputes and all that, honey. But what they didn't say, because when you hear about, domestic disputes, people normally tend to think about a man putting their hands on a woman. But here's the thing. Witnesses who knew both of them said that Becky was the aggressor in all of those incidents. She was the one attacking him, honey. He wasn't attacking her. And just look at her. She don't look like she'd been abused in the least, honey. No bruises or none of that. Even the day that she was arrested for murdering him, she didn't have any bruises on her. All she had was blood. So who was abusing who? Now, she may have taken him off of the lease just to be spiteful or whatever. And he may have kept coming because, of course, they were probably still dealing with each other. You know how people in relationships get into fights and all that. But at the end of the day, her friends and his friends, people who knew both of them, like I said she was the one who was always putting her hands on him. So they can miss me with it, trying to act like he was beating her, and that's why she had a justification to kill him, honey. She's going to get off, too. You can trust and believe she's going to get off, honey. All right? So some of y'all out here who love Becky's, Kate's, and Karen's, honey, you better think twice before you decide to dance with the devil, honey. All right? That's what you better do. Think twice. Yes, Floyd said a thirst for blood. Okay? Please. So anyway, now y'all remember the guy, James Wright, the guy who did the YouTube videos and all that stuff, and Instagram, bragging about Patti LaBelle's pies. Y'all remember that, right? So now he's upset because he said that Walmart didn't give him his coin. And he said Walmart was supposed to pay him, honey, for that. Now, I don't know why Walmart was supposed to pay him because clearly Patti wasn't going to pay him nothing. You all remember Patti told him, Patti came out and said that her pies didn't sell because of him. Her pies sold because they were good. Basically said, there was no need to pay him anything. But that's just, you know what? See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Black people be out here on the internet, all over social media, giving free advertising. Do it all the time. I mean, some of our people gave Popeye's chicken sandwich. They had over $30 million worth of free advertising. All right? And when they didn't get paid from them, I want y'all to pay attention. Because when they give free advertising to Caucasian people, black folk that is, all those people that have been out there trying the Popeye's chicken sandwiches, comparing it to Chick-fil-A and all of that, and they didn't get paid one dime. Did they complain to Chick-fil-A to Popeyes? No, they didn't. But he complained to Patti, and Patti was like, I'm not having it. So social media influencer James Wright puts Walmart on blast for not getting paid after Patti LaBelle's pies broke record sales. And so in a passionate YouTube review, social media influencer James Wright gave his viewers a reason to run to Walmart and stock up on Patti LaBelle's sweet potato pies. Now he wants his coins for the record-breaking sales after his video went viral. Now, according to CNBC, John Forrest Ailes, the director of corporate communications at Walmart, confirmed that the mega retail giant sold one pie per second for 72 hours immediately after his video took off. Can you imagine? So, however, Wright shared that he did not get paid for his contribution to the spike in sales during a discussion on Fox Soul's Turned Out with T.S. Madison. So let's go to the footage, shall we? Let's go to the footage. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the commentary. Thank you in advance.
I can turn anyone into a beach bum.
Yes, James!
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Oh, praise his
Hallelujah.
be. Child, you know I'm out here, LA girl, trying to make $1, girl. I'm glad you called my Uber service, child.
Baby,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
gotta be somewhere.
Where you gotta be?
To the trade house.
Yeah. James Wright Chanel. My God, today.
Maddie CJ Walker.
Sister, we've been friends for a very, 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 very long time.
A long time.
And I don't think people really understand how close of friends they are. I don't eat everybody's oxtails.
And I don't eat everybody's mama's food.
Right. And you came there and handled Miss Mary's plate. And I came and
Mary's plate.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna call her food truck, Miss Mary's plate.
Miss Mary's plate. Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
I got to trademark that for the
Miss
girls getting.
Mary's plate.
So James, I got you in my car. You know, we riding around LA, girl. I'm trying to find us a piece of something.
Mhm.
Girl, what has been going on since the whole Patty? You know, for those people out there that are watching this right now and that don't know, you were something before that, but you are the Patty Pie guy.
The Patty Pie guy. You know what's crazy? Some people get mad when they be like, "That's not his name." Like I've had friends and people do that, and I'd be like, "That's what they call me. You gotta let them call me Patty Pie guy. I'm the Patty Pie guy. I don't have no problem with it."
Because you were entertaining before,
right?
But it was just something about that Patty.
That Patty that signed, sealed, delivered, and said, "I'm yours."
The thing about it is, I don't think that, you know, people really understood or really grasped the gift that you got. You've been on the internet doing those, doing songs and remix and stuff.
Right.
I'm in love with the Coco.
Right.
What was it the other one you did like that with?
I keep it going for myself and my family. Walmart promised all of these things. We still got the emails. And they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing they said they were going to do. None of that.
Do you think that would have made you like a multi-millionaire?
The lady became a multi-millionaire from the lady who created this whole thing. And she worked for Target now. Yep, girl, I said it. See, people don't know the inside and how deep it gets.
Well, we want to know. That's what I'm riding around the car.
It just get deep. Like, don't promise somebody something. Like, oh, we had an executive meeting last week, and the whole meeting was just about you and what Walmart is going to do and how they're going to give you a product and they're going to do this and they're going to do this. And I'm going to tell it just like this. It got to a point to where I met a lady that worked for corporate Walmart. Didn't know her. She walked up to me at an event. I just got off stage, and she said, "Sue them."
Whoa. And this was from Walmart's people.
She said, "Sue Walmart." She said, "They gonna settle, so sue them." She said, "They know you sold that pie." And I was like, "Sue them?" But I just be feeling like I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm blessed. The joy of the Lord is my strength.
Now, he said that a lady who worked for Walmart came up to him at an event and told him, "They know you sold those pies, so sue them." If they sent him emails saying they were going to do certain things and they didn't do it, I would absolutely sue them. That's what I would absolutely do. But honey, as far as Patty's pies are concerned, somebody said you ain't beating Walmart, okay? Yeah, you know, these large corporations, they usually don't go to court for stuff like that. They'll usually just settle. But Desmond said, "I love Patty Pie Guy." Okay. So anyway, Light Brown Sugar said, "How does a guy get breasts like that?" Honey, I have no clue. I have no clue. Nat Turner said, "Just because Black people love themselves does not mean that we hate others. I love all melanated queens." And then Nicole said, "He's silly. He didn't sue." I'm going to tell you like this, honey. I would have sued them. If they send me emails saying they're going to give me all this stuff and they didn't give me nothing, I would absolutely sue them, honey. You have all grounds to. And so that's as good as a verbal contract as far as I'm concerned. Omari said, "Did Patty tell him to promote her pies?" No, she didn't. She did not. Okay. And remember, when the video first went viral and the pies started selling off the shelves, he was saying on his videos and stuff that he had not been compensated and that he's the one that sold the pies and all that stuff. But Patty came out on somebody's talk show, I can't remember whom's, but she came out and said that he didn't have nothing to do with her pies being sold, honey. She said her pies sold because they were good. I'm going to tell you like this. I want everyone who likes Patty's pies to put ones in the chat. Put ones in the chat if you like Patty's pies, and twos if you don't. Ones if you like the pies. Somebody said Patty gave him a purse. Warrior Scholar. Is that what she gave him? That's it. Ones in the chat if you like Patty's sweet potato pies, and twos if you do not. I want to see this. Somebody put a 3. Honey boom. Okay, so it's some twos and ones. Mika put 0, never tried it. Cherokee Descendant said nope. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I don't like Patty's pie. Y'all know why I don't like it. Now, I like the crust because the crust is light and flaky. But as far as her pies overall, you know what? I don't really care for it. I'm not going to say it doesn't taste good. It tastes okay. It's not all the rage like they act as though it is. My sweet potato pies taste better because I'm concerned. And the reason I'm not so thrilled about her pies, I tried them once, a couple of times, in fact. But the reason I'm not so crazy about them is because they have too much nutmeg in them for me. I don't want no sweet potato pie, but you can specifically taste the nutmeg, okay? That's why I'm not crazy about it. That's why I'm not crazy about them. Wendy said they nasty. Whitney said the crust was great. Yeah, the crust is good, okay? Yeah, honey, the pie filling, I mean, it's just too much nutmeg for the queen, honey. I cannot. Okay, Dee Dee said too because she changed the ingredients. They aren't the best, but they are right. Right, Howard, they are all right. But like I said, they're not all the rage. Judah Queen said, make your own pie. Honey, you know most people don't, I'm not going to say most, but you know some people don't know how to make a good sweet potato pie. Paris said, I don't use nutmeg in my sweet potato pie. Well, I do use it, but I don't use it to the point that you can taste it when you bite into the pie, honey. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much for me. Tanya said too much sugar, too sweet, not flavor. The agitator said, I make my own pies, cakes, and cookies. Okay. Bach God said they taste not as good because they're made on a conveyor belt. Okay. So anyway, honey, let me continue. So listen to this. They say the U.S. has determined that Brittney Griner is being wrongfully detained over there in Russia. That's what they say. The U.S. determined that WNBA star Brittney Griner is being wrongfully detained over in Russia, according to the State Department as of Tuesday. Now, they say the change in designation indicates that the U.S. will ramp up efforts to secure her release. They say the U.S. government will continue to undertake efforts to provide appropriate support for Ms. Griner. The case has been moved to the Office of the Special Presidential Envoy for Hostage Affairs, which is tasked with negotiating the release of Americans being held hostage and others classified as being wrongfully detained in other countries. It's unclear what prompted officials to classify Griner's case as a wrongful detainment. Now, 31-year-old Griner was arrested at a Moscow airport in mid-February for allegedly having cannabis vape cartridges in her luggage. She faces 5 to 10 years in Russian prison if convicted on drug smuggling charges. And now they say having learned that the U.S. government has now determined that Griner is being wrongfully detained, we are hopeful that their efforts will be significant and swift. Griner was determined to be in good condition when the State Department negotiated access to her back in March. Russia participated last week in the prisoner swap of another U.S. citizen, former Marine Trevor Reed. So they've determined that she's wrongfully being detained over there, honey. But here's another report that came out after the fact, came out today, where they say, I'm sorry, it came out yesterday. It says, this is an update. They say, no end in sight. fears escalate for WNBA star Brittney Griner as Russia could detain her in a labor camp for years, according to experts. And so they say even though she's been wrongfully detained since February, she seemingly vanished for about a month after playing in a tournament within the country's borders. Finally, reports surfaced in March that Russian law enforcement had arrested her at the airport. Now, the Biden administration officially condemned the arrest and said she was wrongfully detained in an empathetic statement. Now, that means they believe the accusations are fabricated. This is what legal expert Aaron Solomon said. Bill Richardson, a UN ambassador who is trained in hostage negotiation, was brought in to secure her release. Yet the U.S. officials won't officially say that she's a political prisoner. They say she's a hostage, a political detainee, whatever you want to call it. This is what Solomon, who is Esquire's digital chief legal analyst, said. Even if the U.S. won't officially acknowledge it, that's what she is. He says Russia knew they were going into Ukraine and they needed political prisoners. They looked around for the highest profile athlete, and that was Griner, and they grabbed her at the airport. That's what it sounds like. Now, her friends, family, and fans and U.S. diplomats are on pins and needles as they wait to see if she will have her scheduled hearing on May the 19th, which was originally set for March but got bumped back. He says, I predict that the May 19th hearing won't happen. Russia does not function under the rule of law as the U.S. does. This has become a political issue now far more than a legal issue. Russia will take their time working through any process that they choose to follow here, whether it's standard legal procedure or not. At any point, Russia can speed up the legal process to get a guilty verdict and send her to a labor camp if they want to. And the longer Russia keeps her, the higher the stakes get. Honey, this is all bad. Can you imagine being in her shoes? Now, they say the fact that Richardson entered the rapidly escalating situation is a positive sign, according to Solomon. But there's still a long way to go. He has to understand the end game of both sides and what America is willing to give up. It's unknown what Russia wants, but Solomon said he believes they likely want the U.S. to loosen the constricting economic sanctions. He doesn't see a prisoner swap like the U.S. pulled off for ex-Marine Trevor Reed, who's been jailed in Russia since 2019. Ideally, the two sides will come together to an agreement by May the 19th, and Griner can return home, hopefully, Solomon says. But it's unlikely and expects this situation to drag on out for months, even years. Can you imagine being trapped over there for years, honey? The U.S. really has no leverage. Russia knows they have to do something. This is an American citizen. I don't see them making another trade for a person. She's more valuable than that. Now, the disturbing part of the story, Solomon says, is the lack of coverage and outrage in the U.S. Absolutely. Do y'all see this all over the media? Because I don't. Now, if this was Kyrie Irving, this would be on the front page of papers every day, Solomon says. We'd have #FreeKyrie hashtags at the top of trending topics every day. This is the double standard of high-profile male athletes versus female athletes. Griner won the WNBA championship in 2014 with the Phoenix Mercury and the gold medal during the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. She was a two-time gold medalist with Team USA at FIBA's Women's Basketball World Championships in 2014 and 2018, and brought home MVP honors from the 2018 gold medal game. In the WNBA, she's one of 5 players in the league's history to win Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back, and she was named the All-WNBA team she was named to the All-NBA WNBA team 5 times. Her long list of accolades and championships in women's basketball has been compared to that of 7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady. As to what he has done on the football field, honey, that's how good they're saying she is. They say there's so little written about her, but we need to talk about it. This is one of the biggest diplomatic issues facing the United States right now. This is all so sad, honey. Y'all need to start hashtag free Brittney Griner because this is real sad. Like they're talking about this could drag out for months or even years. This lady needs to come home. Please. I can't even imagine, honey. I cannot even imagine. This is so sad. Jerry says the Dems need this to become an issue to get Black voters involved. 6'3" soldier said, let that have been a white person. Well, you already know. Shawana said, if she has the complexion for protection, the U.S. will be trying harder to get her released. I agree. Mr. Mystical Black Graham says, I think she's part of the LGBTQ, and most are waiting for them to step up and come out. If FBA gets her out and LGBTQ, hold on. If FBA gets her out, LGBTQ will take the credit. No disrespect, folks. Folks are making it political. And then GL said, "Where's the Rainbow Coalition? Shouldn't they be looking out for her too, honey? They're not looking out for her. That's what I be trying to tell Black people, honey. They do not do anything at the behest of Black people who are members of the same group as them. They just don't. When have they ever? The only time I see them doing or saying anything is when Black people are out there protesting the murder of an unarmed Black man. Okay? Everybody's asking, where are they? That's what I'd like to know. How come they're not all outraged? I'm just saying, you know, all that smoke they had for Dave Chappelle for telling those jokes, how come they don't have all that smoke for Brittney? What's really going on? What's really going on? See, this is what I be talking about right here, honey. This is what I be talking about. So for all of the Black people who are members of that organization, or whatever you want to call it, and y'all sit up there and don't want to be one first, honey, just remember that. When something like this goes down, honey, they don't have your back. Okay, they don't. The alphabet mafia is nowhere to be found, seen, or heard from. When somebody goes out there and protests about George Floyd or somebody, a Black man that's killed, oh, then they want to come out there and talk about Black trans lives matter and all this, that, and the third. But when it's something like this, where are they? Silence, crickets. All right, so please pay attention to the facts. That's all said. So every Black person needs to start hashtagging free Brittney Griner, okay? Everybody needs to start making a big stink about this because nobody's really talking about this in the news and media. Nobody's really saying nothing. They're trying to hold this woman over for months and years. She's already been there since February. Now they pushed her court date back to May the 19th, and they're saying that she may not even get to go to court then. Can you imagine? Like, this is all just messed up, for real. This is so messed up. And nobody wants to do nothing. But they want to act like they care about Black people. Honey, they can miss me with it, honey. I already know they don't care about y'all because I've been telling y'all that. Like, some of them are the most racist. I don't care what nobody says, honey, please. Exactly. Didi said crickets. Yes. Davita said exactly, Queen. First the other WNBA, Kathy Poindexter. Now Brittney Griner. What's really going on? I'd like to know, right? So Melanated Brown said, right, and allegedly Dave Chappelle's attacker may have been LGBTQ with Black nail polish and homeless. Yeah, I saw that Black nail polish. I mean, but here's the thing. Thank you, Buckhurst. Buckhurst just hashtag free Brittney. Absolutely. I need to see that everywhere. All right. We need to start putting that everywhere for real. This is a Black person, no less. And so Shawana said, why aren't Crump or Bobblehead out there making a fuss about this? Oh, yeah. No money is involved. Okay. Robin said, I saw the nail polish too. Honey, let me tell y'all something. When he attacked Dave Chappelle, I told y'all, I said, I think it might have had something to do with what he said when he told those jokes. But they want to try to blame it on Will Smith. And oh, speaking of Will Smith, honey, they got more news about him, honey, about more stuff getting canceled. You see, I told y'all what they're trying to do. They are clearly painting a narrative. Now Jada's deemed as difficult, doing too much, saying nobody likes them, everybody's mad at them and sick of them, the staff, and even other celebrities and all of this. They're trying to cancel them, honey. That's what they're trying to do. So anyway, Miss J says, absolutely, because she has gotten very little coverage. Yes, very little coverage. Curly Girl said, you don't find that suspicious? How he get on stage? Well, of course I did. I was like, First, I told y'all, I said, where was the security that's supposed to be in front of the stage? How did he just waltz up there? That's all crazy, right? They're supposed to have security in front of the stage 9 times out of 10, honey. And I didn't see anything like that. And he just ran up there and got that close to Dave Chappelle. That was my whole question. How did he get so close to him so quick? He could have killed that man, honey, at the end of the day. That was all crazy. Okay. And then armed too. Now, like I said, yeah, we could have all laughed it off after Dave didn't get hurt. But that could have been absolutely, much worse than it was. How did that even happen? How did that even happen? And then I didn't know he was homeless, honey. How did a homeless man even get in there? That's all so crazy. It makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense. Artifact of War says Jada tricked Will into this. He doesn't want to kickstart the divorce process so she can get her part of the money and bounce out with August. Honey, August is not thinking about her right about now. He's not thinking about her right about now, beloved. Trust and believe. August said after his sister died, he quit fooling with Jada because he realized it was no use wasting any more of his life. That's what he said. Now, as far as getting a divorce from Jada, I don't think it's the money that Will's worried about. You know what I think Will's worried about? Stay tuned. We'll talk about it later. All right, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all what I think Will's worried about, okay? Please pay attention. I don't think it's the money. Jada got some secrets. All right? Imagine getting a divorce and the person you've been married to for all these years start unloading all of your dirty secrets and opening up that closet and letting all the skeleton bones fall out, honey. All right, that's what I think he's concerned about. Yeah, and we'll show some. If I can find this footage that I saw years ago, I'll drop that on the live this evening. Eileen said what she knows. Absolutely. Buckhart said Will ain't giving up that money. Now, Greta says Will is scared all the secrets will be spilled. We already know that, Queen. Exactly. Wait a minute. Amazing Tribe said Dave Chappelle is a 3rd-degree black belt, and that Matrix sidestep was fresh to death. Leo Line said, can't wait to hear Queen. Oh, you going to hear it, beloved. Hold on. Did you say the Matrix sidestep? Okay. Wait a minute. Ramsey 7 said, Brokeback Mountain. Hold on. And then Y'all's Chosen said, giving up that Bucci cat. Oh, Mari said she's going to have an exclusive red table talk. Y'all are too much. Dee Dee said Jada's closet ain't clean. Already Willow is a whole boy. Baruch 12 said Will is a crybaby spliff. Y'all are crazy. I'm getting out of here right now, okay? Y'all are absolutely too much. Omari said broke Buck Mountain. Amazing Tribe said, why Boy George there to spear Dave Chappelle? Not Boy George. Davida said she got that 6 degrees of separation on him. I got to go, honey. Y'all are just too much. Y'all are absolutely. Goodness Rated Bo said Will Smith is heteroflexible. But Amazing Tribe said, Badusi Canyon. I'm out of here. So y'all are crazy. Makeup Lover says, did y'all see Chris Rock grab the mic from Dave Chappelle? I saw that, honey, then said, was that Will Smith? But you know what was interesting? It was interesting to see Chris Rock and Jada's interaction with the video that I showed you all yesterday. You remember the video where she cackled like a witch when she was being interviewed by Chris Rock? It was interesting to see that they were such good friends, right? And then to go from that to this. He even gave her a kiss on the cheek after the interview. Anyway, Cher says, didn't they say the guy who jumped Dave Chappelle had a toy knife and gun? No, honey, the gun was plastic, but it had a real knife. Okay, they said it was a plastic gun and some type of way you extend the knife out of it. That's what they said. One who cares said kitten heels tails. What? Danielle says, Queen, did you hear about Will is expecting a baby girl? From who? I didn't hear anything about that. I didn't hear anything about that. Mm-mm. Now y'all starting to make up stuff. And I haven't heard anything about Will expecting no baby girl. Where'd you get the source, please, ma'am? Ma'am, where'd you get the source from? Ma'am, I'm going to look that up, all right? I am going to look that up. So anyway, with that all being said, everyone please like and share. Makeup Love says security didn't check people before entering. Exactly. That's all crazy to me. Because anytime I've gone to a venue like that, they always check. They check your purses, your bags, if you got any, your pockets, and all that. I've even seen them tell guys to take off their baseball caps so they can check under that. They do extensive searches, usually. So in a place like that, honey, I don't know how they even got about that. It's all crazy. Yeah, Baruch said good, Davis. Okay, absolutely, right? So that very suspicious, absolutely. The business said that's the gopher Will Smith. Baruch said Will is pregnant. Y'all are crazy. Afros and Afro Sheen said, I heard Jada was pregnant too, but I don't think it's Will. Let me out of here. This is too much. I got to go, honey. I am not going to entertain this foolishness. Y'all are clearly being messy. You know what? Some of y'all in this chat need to get y'all's own YouTube channels and start doing celebrity gossip because y'all are messy as. All right? I am so serious. Y'all just up here pay narrative, spreading gossip, malicious stories, and all that with no shame. With no shame whatsoever. Mr. Mystical Black Ram said, Jada, please. Oh, Mari said, where you going, Queen? Out of here. I ain't got to go home, but I got to get the hell up out of here, honey, because y'all are crazy. And hold on. Davida said, poor Will went from the prince to an entanglement to a 6th degree of separation that fell from grace. Oh, let me tell y'all something. Hold on. Let me show y'all something real quick before I go. Let me show y'all something, honey. Now, I want somebody to explain this because I have questions. I have questions. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Let me see if this is it right here. Hold on, people. Let me pull up this picture real quick because I want somebody to explain this. Okay, here we go. Now, I think I caught Jada in a lie. I think I caught her in a lie, honey. Hold on. Let me see if I got the footage. Here it is right here. Now, somebody going to have to explain this one. I'm not going for the okie doke. Y'all can fall for it all you want, but I'm not falling for it, honey. I am not falling for this. Yes, they're messy boots, Nicole. Now, y'all, I want y'all to look at this. Hold on. Y'all see that, right? Now, is it just me or is that hair on Jada's head? I'm sorry, explain that, please. Because they said she had alopecia. But that's hair on her head, honey. It's a low cut, a fade, clearly. But that's hair on her head, honey. I don't see one bald spot. I don't see one bald spot. What do y'all have to say about that? Somebody make it all make sense. Somebody make that make sense. That's hair on her head. Honey, Jada don't have no alopecia far as I'm concerned. That was all BS. Louise says she's a liar. I absolutely think. And Nessie said that's hair. Yep, that's hair. She's been shaving her head. Now, this is what I'm going to tell y'all like this before I close out here, honey. Now, let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. When you have alopecia, you have balding spots in your hair. Your hair, you know, it may be low, but her hair is cut low. Now, when you have alopecia, let me pull up somebody with alopecia. Hold on. Because I want y'all to see the difference. Here we go, right here. Prime example. Prime example. Here we go, right here. Let me pull this up. Because Jada can miss me with it, honey. Let me share my screen. Lord have mercy. Y'all got me being messy now. This clearly don't have anything to do with the broadcast I intended to do. But anyway, too late now. Now see that? Now you see how clean her scalp is. There's no sign of hair growth. That's alopecia, because you'll have some hair growth in certain spots, but you will have complete bald spots in certain places. So honey, why does Jada have hair growing all over her head? Just like it looks just like a fade. I'm just saying. Let me pull up another picture just to prove my point. Then I'm out of here. Because y'all are being so messy. I cannot. Now here's another example. The hair comes out in patches. Okay? The hair usually comes out in patches, honey. Now look at this. Look at this woman's hair. This is her before. This is her after. But see how she got those patches right there? There's no hair growing at all whatsoever where the balding spots are. And when she shaved her head, it's completely bald. Now, Jada had hair on. She's got hair on her head, honey. I'm sorry. I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it. Janine says she can have it on the back of her head. You talking about Jada? Hair on the back of her head? That's not my point. My point is, even if you have alopecia, and even if you shave your hair low so that it doesn't look like, you know, patches or whatever, the part when it starts growing back, the bald spots will still be there. So you'll be able to see the hair growth where the hair has always been, but you'll see complete bald spots. Okay? So her hair is growing back evenly. It looks like it's shaved evenly and the hair is growing back evenly, honey, not in patches. That's all I'm saying, honey. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe it. Okay? Hold on. Somebody said something. Okay, Diane said, yes, a friend I know had alopecia and her scalp is shiny smooth. Exactly. I know someone who had it too, right? In the back of her head, she had a complete bald spot. Even when she shaved her hair down, when it's growing back, that bald spot is still visible because it's nothing growing there, not even a nub of hair. Honey, I don't believe Jada, honey. It's the whole lie as far as I'm concerned, honey. She's not fooling me. All right? She is, in fact, the Wicked Witch of the West. Just like on that video where she cackled yesterday. She can miss me with it. Now, with that all being said, I'm still not going to cancel her will, but I'm just telling y'all, I think she's lying. All right? So with that all being said, everyone get the likes up. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel. Oh, Mari said the Wicked. J Love the Queen said, you did say Pfizer was one of the contributors. Yes, to some type of stuff for alopecia. Yes. And they sponsor the Oscar. So I'm just saying, honey, something just reeks of nefariousness. Nicole said, Queen is the queen of receipts. Thank you, beloved. All right. So with that all being said, everyone like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell, click the word all, so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAHMADIYYAH'S. You can also follow the Queen AHMADIYYAH'S fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. Have a blessed and prosperous day, and stay positive and high vibrational. All right? With that all being said, I love you all to life, and I hope to see you all later in the next chat. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
AHMADIYYAH.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
AHMADIYYAH.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
AHMADIYYAH.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
AHMADIYYAH. Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen. I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
AHMADIYYAH.
So the only way we're going to get some of this